It's a great day in history today. Before I get started, I'm going to introduce myself. Vaughn Norris, City Manager for the City of Hawthorne. Thank you for coming out this morning. As I was saying, this is a day in history. It's the finale of a great weekend that we've had in the city. We've done a lot of great things this week, but we've done a lot of great things the last 100 years. So today is a great day, totally finalizing what we've done. The city was incorporated in 1922. We're in 2022, so that's 100 years. The time capsule was placed in there in 84 by the Heritage Committee. We do have some of the founding members here today that will speak and educate us on the history. With that being said, I'm going to run down the agenda what we're going to do today. We're going to start with our invocation, pledge allegiance, and then we're going to exhume the time capsule. Staff will take the time capsule inside, open it up, and then they're going to place everything out for display in the lobby. During that time, we'll have former past employees, committee members speak on the history of Hawthorne, and after that, we'll have our council members come up and speak. And then at the end, at the finale, we have refreshments for everyone to partake in. So with that being said, if I can have Pastor Greg please come up to conduct our invocation, and then I would ask Councilmember Montero to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you will. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Hello, my name is Greg. I'm one of the pastors in the Hawthorne Lawndale Ministerial Association. And I'd like to thank you all for coming today. My church is on 137, so you're all invited to come tomorrow if you'd like, and love to have you come. I was talking to Vaughn yesterday about doing this invocation, and just want to remind everybody the value of praying for the people in the city. The Bible talks about the fact that God wants people to pray for those in authority over us. And if you think about it, they have a pretty tough gig at times. Half the people are going to hate whatever they're doing. The other half are going to want them to do what their agenda is. And they've got their own issues and their own complications. So if you are a praying person, let me kind of counsel you to offer up some prayers for them during the year. We have a wonderful city, and they've been doing a great job, but it's a tough gig. And even, God recognizes that so much, he puts it in the Bible. So if you will, bow with me, and I'll offer an invocation. Father God, thank you so much for this wonderful city. We want to pray for everyone here who's come out. We pray you bless them, bless their families and their workstations and their schooling. Thank you so much, Father God, for your goodness to us in this city. Thank you. We have a stable economy. We have good policing. We have good economics. We have a good city, Father, all the way around. And we're really, really grateful. Thank you for this 100 years of this wonderful place. We look forward, Father God, to another 100 years and your blessing to continue in this place and on all the people who work for the city. Thank you in Jesus' name, amen.
Good morning. Can everybody rise, please? And repeat along with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you. Before we get started, I'd like to indicate some special people we have here today. We have Councilmember Reyes English here in the front row. Thank you for joining us. We have Councilmember Montero that you just heard give our pledges. Thank you. Councilmember Olivia Valentine. Our Mayor Vargas. They will all have opportunity to speak later. If possible, if I can have all the committee members come up, please, that helped with any of the events that we've had over the last 4 days. I'd like to give recognition to the committee. You guys did an excellent job. I know at times we were thinking that we weren't going to make it. We made it. Don't be shy. Please come up. Over here. Please give them a big hand. These employees worked diligently during their regular tasks at work to help put these additional events on. If you did not know, we had a dinner on Friday, a parade and block party on Saturday, a day at the museum on Sunday, State of the City on Monday, and here we are today. Thank you, and my hat goes off to you. Thank you. In the crowd, we have commissioners, Dick Hume. We have the Balboas, Civil Service Commission, Recreation Commission. We have HOA members here. We have Don Harris, Commission for the Civil Service. We have our chief here, Chief Ishii. Thank you for your constant support in the city. We have Commissioner Donisha Stanford in the back there. We have our partners from the Marriott, Maggie and Sergio. Please raise your hand. Thank you for hosting the VIP room on Saturday. Great job. And we have our Public Works staff that was able to set up the tents and chairs today and been a constant magnet here in the city. Oh, Mr. David Patterson, I didn't see you. Mayor Pro Temp, excuse me, Mayor Pro Temp Patterson. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have our staff come up and they're gonna actually remove the blanket from over the time capsule. We're gonna raise that out, take it into the lobby, open it up, get all items out ready to display, and during that time, we will call up members from the Heritage Committee from 1984 to give a small briefing of the city and some history. So if we can have Public Works staff come up, please. And this is what we've been waiting for, 38 years. And if you have a chance, we have the original plaque that was removed before today to have access to the time capsule. So I'm assuming there's a few people here that they know what's in there because they were here. If you look at that picture, second picture on the right-hand side, we have current individuals in that photo that's here this morning. So there's one or two individuals, I'm sure they're aware of what's actually inside the time capsule. And if you look at the quality of that time capsule, I wasn't expecting that. So that was actually manufactured and built in 1984. That shows the times and the great craftsmanship that was put into this time capsule.
This is constructed here.
Constructed here? Do you remember the name of the company by any chance?
Heinz Gruber
Heinz Grubert?
on Hawthorne Happenings.
It was a local vendor. Here we go. Anticipation. All right, so we will get that open and ready for display. With that being said, I'd like to call up our first elected mayor, Guy Hawker. He has a few elected. Come on up, Mr. Hawker.
Thank you very much. Am I going to come up there?
Yes, please. I'd like you to come up here, please.
I thought about this. I'm going to lean on this here. And I had a great time at the mayor's meeting last night. That was dynamite. And thank you for welcoming me up here. And I got a hold of this little gizmo about 10 years ago. I wondered what was going to go on with it. And I turned it on to something 6 or 8 years ago that represented kind of what I did. And let's give me just a quick second. I had an interview with somebody from the LA Times when I left office in 1985. And I'll look this over. Oh, I can't see it too good. But the bottom line was this. He interviewed me, gave a nice report. You can, Guy Hawker, Mayor Hawthorne, and you can read what happened in and around the 85 to 80. And here was the words that came out that I thought represented what I did when I was the mayor. Governments habitually govern too much. In the final analysis, people don't want to be governed. They want to run their lives without interference from Big Brother government. That was my philosophy. It got me elected, and it is how I acted as I was the mayor. And I happened to see last night at the mayor's, or yesterday, by the way, at the mayor's speech, the very last slide that was on the film up there was a Buddhist philosopher. He had almost the same thing, said, love your neighbor and your government will have to love itself. Hey, thanks very much. Welcome. Thank you. That's it.
So, Mr. Hawker, can you give us a clue what's actually in the time capsule?
No, I can't. Unfortunately, everybody says I have no clue what's in there. The breeze is in there.
Okay, great. I'd like to call up Mr. Dick Hume, Commissioner, Fine Arts Commission. Say a few words if possible.
Thank you, Vaughn, for inviting me to be with you today. I have a mystery brewing. At the museum, one of our docents, who was doing a time capsule for the city of Hawthorne, a history of Hawthorne, ran across a news article that said there was going to be a time capsule placed in a 7-story building near the mall, and that it would be open today at this celebration. Does anybody know where that time capsule is, or is it the time capsule we're looking at today? You know, I've talked to a number of different people. They don't know anything about it. They had no recollection. Jim Mitch, I thought, was city engineer at the time, and he said, you know, there was something about it, but I don't know anything. I don't know that it was ever built. Well, I know the 7-story building was never built, so where's the time capsule? The second one in town. Thank you for being here today and participating in all the events of this weekend. We had a great time at the museum with a number of people showing us some things that we didn't have on display and didn't have any reference to. One was a series of chicken coops that the guy said was his family chicken coops, and they were put together and looked like a barn, but he had a model train display in there, and this was just, a number of years ago. He didn't tell me what year it was, but then they got torn down, so that model train display disappeared. But we had heard about it, we had talked about it, but nobody had seen any pictures or knew anything about it. But we now have an address for it, and the guy lives 2 doors from me, so I can get those pictures anytime I want them. But yeah, great weekend. Thank you so much.
Great. Our last speaker, we have Tom Katana, if you can come up. He is a dictionary of knowledge, encyclopedia of insight for the city of Hawthorne. Hope I'm not setting the bar too high for you. Thank you.
I'm hoping that they find part of my memory in that time capsule, because I screwed up some dates here. I pretty much just want to say I wish Robert Hartman was here. He was certainly the heritage historian, emeritus, forever here. He personally paid for the creation of the time capsule. The time capsule is stainless steel, and it was made right over on Prairie Avenue there. I was in the city manager's conference room when he was putting everything into the time capsule. So there might be food in there. Anyway, Some highlights real quick. I don't want to drag this out. 1975, the Hawthorne President's Council was formed by Cora Travers and the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. And I think, Dick Hune, weren't you one of the charter members? You were a senior at Hawthorne High or something like that. Anyway, 1976, the Hawthorne Plaza opens. 1977, somebody named Tom Quintana started working for the city of Hawthorne. This site was demolished. It was the Naval Center. You'll see the pictures in the lobby there. So some of us were in that 3-story building on the corner of El Segundo and Hawthorne Boulevard. And where the police station was, half of it was City Hall, and that's where the city council chambers were also. 1978, a new city seal was designed. There. I happened to design it, so I know. 1979, City Hall was dedicated. 1982, and this is a blatant commercial here, the Private Industry Council, now known as the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, began serving Hawthorne in a small office above White's Bakery on Hawthorne Boulevard. Anybody remember White's Bakery? Yep. Yeah, okay. It's Hummus House now, right? Or next door. Sadly, 1983, there was a recall of 3 city council members, but happily, 1983, Guy Hawker became the first elected mayor of Hawthorne. And then 1984, the Los Angeles Olympic Games torch run came down Hawthorne Boulevard. And Hawthorne School District Superintendent and Rotarian Reese Walton carried the torch. We were the 3rd community in the nation to sign up for a link on the torch run. I called it in, so I know. And the first of 14 annual Hawthorne Airfairs was held in 1984. 1986, Mr. Hartman passed away. 1987, tragically, Danny Miller of the Hawthorne Parks Maintenance Department was struck and killed by a careless driver right over here on Greville Avenue. His monument is right on the corner here. You might want to go see that. April 1992, check that. Betty Ainsworth, after Guy Hawker, Betty Ainsworth became the first woman elected mayor. Yes. 1992, April to May, was a declared state of emergency due to the LA riots, if you all remember that. Every member of city staff, every department was honored by the city council right out here. The entire police department, we had our own fire department then, and everybody was honored and received a certificate. The firefighters and police officers received a special citation for their uniform, and some of them still wear it today. Let's see, 1993, in the months leading up to the opening of the Glen M. Anderson 105 freeway, a couple significant events happened. The movie Speed, starring Keanu Reeves, was filmed on that. Anybody see the movie? Yeah. That freeway, that's our freeway, our segment of the freeway here in Hawthorne. The police department staged a free community 5K run and a basketball tournament on the freeway. Then, let's see, I thought this was part of that same sequence, but I was corrected today. In May 2001, then Mayor Larry Guidi and the Hawthorne-based Cuban American Cultural Institute and Sociedad Jose Marti staged a Cuban cultural festival featuring the Queen of Salsa, Cecilia Cruz, at the intersection of 120th Street and the freeway. Over 25,000 people attended that event. 1996, Jack Northrop Field was dedicated, and the Northrop-built B-2 bomber flew over the ceremony, and it was the first time it was allowed in the LA airspace. 2005, the Beach Boys Historical Monument was dedicated, and the Hawthorne School District had its 100th anniversary. Let's see. 2011, sadly, Hawthorne Police Motor Officer Andrew Garton became the first police officer to die in the line of duty. And I don't have exact dates here, but I'm pretty sure Danny Juarez in 2011 was the first Hispanic American elected mayor. Yes. And 2014, our first African American individual, Chris Brown, was elected mayor. I ran out of paper, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Those were some great facts, and thank you for sharing those with us. At this time, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Mayor Vargas.
Hi, I hope everybody's doing well today. A very historic event where we get to see what people were thinking 25 years ago. I remember I was how old? Like 12 years old at that time. So I got to see what like the times are going to tell us today and what we see in those things that they unveiled today. So, but I want to first call over my council colleagues so they can say some words, and then I'll say my final words for the group. Okay, I'm going to call over. Do we have a mic that we can take there? I'll call over Councilwoman Olivia Valentine to say a few words. Do we want to? So we just.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been my honor serving you on the City Council for these last 10 years. I've seen a lot of these wonderful events happen in the city of Hawthorne. We have experienced great success in many areas, and just like the planes at our wonderful airport, Hawthorne is taking off. We are experiencing record investment in Hawthorne with exciting new businesses and jobs, 2 Marriott hotels, and 1 with a restaurant, Medici, the one right here, Ring Home Security, Earth Cafe Restaurant, LA Ale Works, and Common Space Breweries, with more breweries to come. Poor South Bay, Amazon, Encompass, and of course the growth of commercial traffic at the Hawthorne Airport. This investment in Hawthorne is historic, but we still have much to do. This is what we have done, and we must continue to do to continue Hawthorne's upward trajectory. Continue to make fiscally responsible decisions, increasing Hawthorne's financial health, always having a balanced budget, full transparency, and the highest ethical behavior of employees and council members. Strengthen public safety in our neighborhoods and schools by building on the amazing community policing model that has resulted in trust between the police and residents of Hawthorne and is the envy of the entire South Bay. Increase shopping, dining, and entertainment opportunities by attracting and sustaining quality businesses. Invest in senior, veteran, and family programs to increase the quality of life for all our residents. And last but not least, make home ownership a priority in the city. This is an area which must be tackled seriously. Our level of home ownership is approximately 25%, way too low. Owning a home gives people pride in their community and makes them feel as though they have a stake in the policies that are made by their government. We must find ways to educate first-time home buyers about the many available financing opportunities to purchase homes. For those that own homes, we must assist them in learning how to keep their homes and how to resist pressure from developers to sell because they are under financial pressure to do so. These are the ways, in my view, that we can continue Hawthorne's upward trajectory into the next 25 years. As you reflect on the wonderful events we have had and the progress we have made, look forward to the next 25 years. Many of you will be here to see this capsule opened, and you will know whether we kept moving Hawthorne upward and forward to become a destination city, as the mayor said we would become last night. Stay involved and help the city meet its goals. This has been, and with your help, will continue to be a great city to live, work, and raise your families. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
Thanks. Good morning, and it's great to see everyone out today. In keeping up with the theme of history and what this capsule means to all of us, let me just project some of the things that I'm most proud of. Born and raised in Idaho, graduated high school in 1984. And to know that this capsule was put in the ground in 1984. And then to know that the Celia Cruz concert that took place at the Hawthorne Airport, which I was there. And to know that I've lived here 35 years and have contributed to this community, but more importantly, the diversity that we've come to see on the city council. Being elected the first Latina city clerk was momentous occasion, and then to know that elected the first Latina city council member. And that's important too. And I just want to just say that it's my hope that we continue to make this city a diverse city and to see the elected officials, and more importantly, those in leadership, reflect the people that live here in Hawthorne. And that's what I'm most proud of. To see everyone that's out here today and the diversity across Hawthorne is something to be proud of. Let's give yourself a hand applause for that. Our city has come a long way, especially in the history of Hawthorne. And if some of you might know, city of Hawthorne at one time was known as a sundown city. And most of you folks already know that. And it just goes to show where we're at today in 2022, how we've changed that, and we want to be a better people for that. From our police officers to our leadership in our police, to our mayor and city council leadership, to our city manager, city attorney's office. Look at the reflection of the diversity that we have today. And that's what I'm proud of. In spite of everything else, that's what we should all be proud of. It's my hope that I'll continue to help those that want to know more about government, how to navigate government, and more importantly, how to access government. And that's my hope. And along with those looking to run for office, it's about being fair, it's about being transparent, and waiting your turn. It's not jumping ahead of the line, but doing what's fair for everybody. And so again, I want to thank each and every one of you, the city manager for his awesome leadership. Let's give it up to Vaughn. He stepped up to the plate as I knew he would. I was confident in his ability to lead. Our city attorney as well, Mr. Robert Kim. Let's give it up to Robert. And all of our department heads. And I really want to give a special shout out to our Public Works Department, because they're truly the hands that keep our city clean, built out, and looking fine. And to all of you that are here that is businesses, thank you for your partnership and your leadership in wanting to work, more importantly, with the city of Hawthorne, but doing your part too. And to those that continue to benefit the nonprofit organizations and our faith-based and school leadership. Thank you so much. Mayor, thank you again for what you do and for the great weekend that we've had and for the great State of the City address, which was open to the community. And I think that was its first time ever. And I just want to say again, thank you for everyone's participation. And it's good to see everyone out. Thank you so much.
I would like to invite Councilmember Alex Montero to please come up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good morning. Before I say my remark, I got a message from our former mayor, Danny Juarez. He wants you guys to go see him and buy some of these Centennial coins because he said he wants to sell all of them, okay? So go see him, please. Yeah, again, I have to say, I'm very proud of the city of Hawthorne and especially, the residents because you're the one over there telling us what to do and we have to listen to you. Like Mr. Guy Hawker said, politics and government, we are nothing without you, the people who elect us, and also the great staff, like from the city manager to, like I said, public works to the police department to the finance to all the departments, because you guys are the pillar of us, the pillar of this city, and without you, we will not shine, right? Like the mayor did a great job last night, presented the state of the city, but it's thanks to the staff that all those beautiful things that we accomplish is thanks to you. So again, my hat goes to you. Thank you very much. Like we said on Friday night, 100 years ago, we couldn't imagine Hawthorne being like this, right? With Marriotts and airports, because it was a rural post with barley fields and eucalyptus trees, and then look at us, right? With 88,000 diverse community. And like I said, people before me that was part of the council and like Ms. Guy Hawk and others, like Betty Ainsworth, put a mark for us to be triumph in 2022. Because when you think about it, I'm a immigrant. I was born in West Coast of Africa, so that means I became the first African to become city council member, right? And when we think about it, we have people in this city that have come far away from Somalia, Eritrea, South America. People have, come to be part of this American dream, right? Like the Cuban refugees during Castro Revolution, right? People have come from Chile during the Pinochet Revolution. So we have marked ourselves like almost like a democracy in action. And that is what we have to put in that capsule for another 25 or even 50 years, that we understood the dynamic of culture, how the world transforms itself. And I am telling you, I am very proud of this city. And I made a commitment when I got elected, was to serve the people of Hawthorne, not my interests. Because you guys are the voice. And we have to keep going and bring Hawthorne forward and upward, like Ms. Valentine said. This is the city of good neighbor, great city. And we have great, we're going to do more prosperity. I know some of you think that, we struggle, but last night it was again a beginning to show you that we can do better. And we hope that one day we'll see that mall develop. We'll see more things coming to Hawthorne, more restaurants, quality other product in our city. It's like I said, I bought my house 20 years ago, right? It was 200,000. Now it's 800,000. Just imagine that. The equity that we have built in this city. So for the 25 or the 50 years that is coming up, we want to send a message that we try to do our best. And we try to accomplish the goal of the people, not the politician. So again, I want to thank all of you, especially the residents, even the children that is in attendance, that will be our future. They'll be here because I'm pretty sure we'll be up there in heaven watching. So, and for all the senior people that's been here for 90 years, 70 years, you build a pillar, and we're going to continue to build a better pillar for all of us. So again, I appreciate you to elect me, and I say thank you, and God bless you all.
Before I introduce my next colleague, I want to acknowledge President of the El Camino College Board of Trustees, Nilo Michelin, former council member and former employee of the city of Hawthorne, right, in the city attorney's office. And we would like to thank Tina McKinner, our new assemblywoman, for sending her regards and sending her representative, who's right in the back. You should have come up here, brother. He's right in the back, so she sent a representative. So I want to introduce my colleague, Mayor Pro Tem David Patterson.
Good, is it morning still? Good morning, good morning. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take a picture of you guys. Because I am obviously of a younger generation and I'm always on my phone. and I always got to get good pictures of all the good stuff. All right. So, yeah. Good morning. I'm obviously the newest member of the city council, and might be the youngest. I don't know. Look at, I might be. I don't know. I mean, you look at all the gray in my beard. You'll never know. But I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I want to thank my council colleagues for all the hard work you guys have done over this last number of months to put this weekend together. I'll be honest with you, I had nothing to do with any of this stuff. I kind of showed up and smiled and waved. But I know council member Montero has been working on this for months. The mayor's been working on this for months. I know all the rest of my council colleagues had their input on some different parts of this weekend. Of course, the city manager has been working with staff for months and months putting all this together. I'm just so impressed. And I'm honestly very grateful that I happened to be the mayor pro tem during our Centennial celebration and have the opportunity to kind of, be seen and speak and, act like I've done something special. But I just kind of, got elected at the right time. But I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be elected and appreciate the opportunity to serve the community. I decided to pursue this office because I thought I could add some value to the community, and I hope that I have, and I'll continue to work to do so. I love events like this because it gives us the opportunity to take a look at history, to remember where we've come from, right? There's no way that we can really set any goals for the future if we don't know where our starting point is. We don't know the point in which we've come. And so, as we kind of make goals for our city, whether it be economic development goals, policy goals, without a good understanding of what's happened before, it's really hard to really set those goals. It's hard for us to really do something different if we don't know what's been. And so I really appreciate, days like today to really see how far Hawthorne's come, to acknowledge the past, and be able to help us understand, what new fights we need to fight and what new things we need to accomplish. I feel just so humbled to be a part of this whole process. I remember as a kid, I didn't grow up in Hawthorne as a kid. I moved to Hawthorne after college. But I used to spend a lot of time in Hawthorne when I was a teenager. My favorite cousin growing up lived on 129th and Jefferson for most of his life. So I was here, a lot as a child, and going to the one stop right there on Prairie and going to the Memorial Center and all that stuff. I remember even getting caught up with the Hawthorne police when I was a teenager. Fit in the description a few times. I remember going to the old police station because I was out after curfew, and so they had to kind of, straighten me out. But and it's great to see the changes that's happened over the years. Like, I'm very proud of our police department today. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have said that when I was 16. But I'm very proud of our police department today. Very proud of our city attorney today. And the work of our city manager. Very proud of the progress that the city has made. And so I appreciate you guys coming out here and allow me to celebrate with you our 100-year anniversary of course this weekend and celebrate this time capsule. And I'm humbled that I'll be able to kind of contribute a little something to it. And who knows what this city's going to look like 50 years from now. Hopefully we can work together and make it something great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, before I introduce two of my additional colleagues and say my remarks, I want to acknowledge and thank Stephen Bradford, our state senator's office, for being here. His representative is right in the back. Our supervisor from the LA County also sends her regards and congratulates us. And she has sent her representative, I believe. Where's the representative? Left-hand side. Left-hand side, okay. Right in the back over there. Good to see you again. And Congresswoman Maxine Waters, of course, a great supporter of our community, also sends her regards and congratulates us. And let's thank her for all her support. Okay, yeah, no, of course, absolutely. Our superintendent, our newly appointed superintendent from the Hawthorne School District, Superintendent Mark Arian. And Dr. Crank, school board member as well. I don't think he was mentioned earlier, and he's right there. So we yesterday at the city state of the city, I introduced you to the city hall administration team, but nobody's heard from them. So I'm going to ask our police chief to come up and say a few words. He was running away. He was scared. He has stage fright. Come up and say a few words. We want people to know who you are. He's going to be our police chief for 50 years. 50 years.
Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. I know there's a lot of speeches here. I'll try to make it short, but I'd like to just, as I was up here listening and reflecting on all of the history that has gone on in Hawthorne. I've been here 32 years, and even I wasn't here yet when we're going to open this up. So it's really amazing. When they're asking us about putting artifacts or things in the upcoming one, as you know, in the police department, we hoard a lot of stuff. Our property room is thousands of items, but then we got to thinking, what can we do to put something in? So we created a millennial badge to commemorate the 100-year anniversary for us, and we're going to put that in there. But one of the things that struck me is, we're going to talk about this, and we're going to, as soon as this ends, we're going to go about our lives. But each of those things that we talk about, all of those little pieces of, in our city, of the evidence, as we would say, it might be a cell phone, or it might be a memento or a picture. There's a story behind those things. And it strikes me, for example, a cell phone, that it could have belonged to a victim's family. And for them to get that, the importance of that. For us, it's a cell phone. For that person, it's a family of memories, and all of the trials and everything that had gone through that. So I'm hoping when they open our badge, or when they see our badge, 25, 30, 100 years from now, who knows? But when they do, I hope they'll recognize our men and women, especially in the last few years. It was a group of individuals working for the Hawthorne Police Department that have overcome the pandemic, overcome all of the challenges that has faced this community, especially in the last few years. I hope they will see that, and the empathy and compassion that our officers are showing out there every day. In fact, they're on a major incident right now, trying to bring that to a peaceful conclusion. So within those little artifacts, or these little things that we're going to put in there, is a lifetime and a generation of memories. And I hope that they'll be able to see those and feel those things as we move forward. In Hawthorne, we're now in one of the places, especially listening to the mayor's speech last night, where cities are now kind of envy of us for the first time in many years that I can recall. And that's a great place to be. And so as we sit here and enjoy being in that position, we all know that it's on the back of the sacrifices of all of our city employees who have just slogged through the years of stuff that we've done throughout these years. But also it shows where the city is built on tough people that don't give up, that we might not have received all the cards given to us in life, but we just continue to move on and work and really be proud of the middle class of this city. And as a police department, and as a privilege of being the police chief here in 2022, it is an honor and a privilege to be able to serve our community in such a manner. So with that, thank you very much, and I guess we won't see you when they open the next one. But we'll always remember today as a moment of a good thing for our city. On behalf of the Hawthorne Police Department and the members, thank you very much for allowing us to be here today. Thank you.
I don't know why he keeps saying we're not going to be around. I told you you're going to be the 50-year police chief. You're going to serve for 50 more years, brother. Our city attorney, Robert Kim, he doesn't expect this, but I want you guys to know who the administration team, and kind of give you some anecdotal information on their experience being here in the city. He's been here for a while too, and he will be here for another 50 years.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. A little bit of a historical fact about the city attorneys here in Hawthorne. Sean Lasky and I, as assistant city attorney, we endeavored on a research of where the fireworks ordinance started, and it went back years. And during that search, we found that the first time that the city put the ordinance codified into a book was 1955. And we happened to find that book. And it's a red book that we're going to put into a time capsule. And the city attorney back then, 1955, is there anyone here that knows who the city attorney was in 1955? A man by the name of John Lynch. And in this red book, you knew it. Okay, so in this book is handwritten notes from Mr. Lynch, was the city attorney. Now, about 10, 15 years ago, I had a criminal trial here at the airport court, and they brought back a retired judge, Judge Lynch. So I actually tried a case in front of John Lynch, who became a judge at municipal court in Inglewood and was retired and came back and was called on assignment. And he told me that when he was a city attorney, he had no assistants, worked by himself, had to handle everything. That's infractions, ordinance, misdemeanors, civil. And now the city has grown, so of course we have staff and assistant city attorney and team of prosecutors. But in the historical item from the city attorney's office is that original.
How large is your staff now?
Oh God, I see. We have 3 contract attorneys in doing the misdemeanor 3 contract attorneys that handle misdemeanor prosecution, and total of 3 attorneys doing civil and municipal law, and support staff. So in the time capsule, you're going to see a red book that we're going to put in today. It has handwritten notes from John Lynch, 1955, and handwritten notes from me stating what he told me when I did that trial with him. Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, so now it's my turn. My family decided to move here. My mom and my dad. My dad had already lived in LA since the 40s. He went back to his hometown, met my mother in Michoacan, Mexico, in our hometown, and they got married, and he brought her over. And in 1970, they chose Hawthorne as the place that they wanted to establish themselves over Torrance, Redondo Beach, and even Lenox. They were looking at Lenox. Things were different in Lenox back then. So they decided to move here. And I can tell you, I'm extremely proud to be a Hawthorne resident. I was born here in 1971. And obviously, absolutely, I am proud and honored to be mayor during the Centennial period, right? Who would ever expect that a city would thrive as much as ours? That other cities, as you guys who were here at the State of the City yesterday saw that there were several elected officials, they're calling us to get advice. During the COVID, for our COVID response, they were calling our city manager, Parks and Rec director at that time, for advice. They were calling me to see, hey, what are you guys doing for this? Because we hear you're doing this. So we're the trendsetters, we're the ones, the innovators, and people are looking at us to be able to get ideas. And you saw that yesterday with our friends from the neighboring cities. And you know what? I have heard about people saying, oh, the history of Hawthorne, and it's speckled with kind of not so favorable things that used to happen. You know, you see, you kind of hear that recurrent theme, and that's cool. People can say whatever they want. But Hawthorne is a family. Hawthorne is a family. And each of us has a member of our family that doesn't make the best decisions, right? But do we still love that member of our family? Yes. People make bad decisions. They come back in line. Things change. Attitudes change. You know, we had different attitudes as minorities, if you want to call it, and the people who used to live here were the prevalent group. But guess what? In the process, we say, hey, you know what? We can do things. We can move into the city of Hawthorne. We can be part of that community. And guess what? The Hawthorne community welcomed my family in 1970. So I'm extremely excited and proud that that happened. We're all a family. We're all going to grow. We're all going to expand. We're all going to get smaller. We're all going to stretch. We're all going to make mistakes. But guess what? Every single one of you that is here has contributed a part, no matter how big, no matter how small, to the betterment of the city of Hawthorne. And I'm extremely proud, and I love all my brothers and sisters that are here in our Hawthorne family, our employees, our police officers, my council member colleagues. You know, council member colleagues, we fight. You know, we're like brother and sister. We literally fight. I hate you, but then we say, I love you the next day. So it's like weird. It's, you know, but it's literally like a family. And I really want to tell you guys that, you know, emotionally, it hits me. This is probably the last of the 5 events. And over the course of these 5 events, hopefully everybody was able to go away with a different aspect on the cultural diversity we have here in our city, on the historical aspect that we have here in the city, about the fun, entertainment, and the growth aspect that we've had as a city, and on the economic aspect, like yesterday we talked about where we were. So I want all of you guys, and I want to end by all of us being able to give each other a round of applause. Thank you. I'm going to ask our city manager to join me in just mentioning some of the individuals who are here, octogenarians, septenarians, I think that's the correct words, people who have lived in the Hawthorne for a significant amount of time. We trade off. Okay. So I'll start off. Guy Hawker, please stand, be recognized. So as soon as we finish, you'll come up so we can take a picture.
Mr. Dick Hume, Richard Hume, and his wife Alice Hume.
Alice Hume. Darvis Johnson.
Betty Kill.
Just skip them. Art and Faye Osborne. Where are you guys?
Paul Lowe. Are you here, Paul?
Can all of you that we just mentioned please come up to the front so we can take a picture with you and my city council colleagues?
Do we get a chance to say anything?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we have another name. Mr. Bob Marcella, sir. I went to school with your daughters at St. Joseph and your son too, Frank.
Can I have about a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's take a picture, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually lived in Lawndale for 18 years, and I was in that area, and that's why Lusinger has the Olympians, because they had the Olympics here in 1932. Then they had the Olympics later here, and Rayford Johnson sponsored a race on the 105 freeway before it opened, so I did a race on that freeway before it opened, whatever year that was, I don't remember. But when my husband was city attorney, he was doing all of the attorney work. Then when he quit, they hired 3 attorneys to do the work he had been doing. So that's, I thought, was interesting too. And I actually lived in the eucalyptus area, bought a house there for $5,000. Then we rented a house in the York area for $10 a month. Then we bought a house in the Ramona area for $88,000, and then we finally built our house on 130th Street where we still are. So I've been in Hawthorne since 1946, and so I've been here a long time.
Thank you, man. All right, we'll take a quick picture.
One other name, we have a former employee, Clint Smith. If you can join us up here, please. Mr. Smith.
Let's go in front of the podium so that we can. All right, quick picture first, and then we'll go back to the microphone. Oh, okay. Come here, man. In the front. In the front. In the front. $10, imagine it. No, I can't do that.
2 women, you want me here?
Let's get elders to come in. Yeah. You want it closer, sir?
Careful to tell your wife. Over here.
Hi there.
How old are you? Is it lopsided here or what?
85, I got about a year.
Are we missing anybody? Holy crap.
I'm going to you.
All right, boss, you want to come up a little more?
Yeah, I
Can
think
you see them over here? Yes, I can. Okay, it's good? It's good? Make sure you guys can see me, and I'll see you, all right?
How's my hair?
Beautiful. And 3, 2, 1. Hold it right there. A couple more. And 3, 2, 1. All right. I can have all eyes Right there. Right there?
Mr. Lowe's.
How you doing, Sherry?
Mr. Lowe's son took the picture already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was you. Oh, yeah.
See how they look alike?
Absolutely. You just need the sunglasses, man. We're good? All right. Sorry.
Do you want to say anything else?
No, just you start. You do it for
All right.
This is you.
So, great event. I'm so happy that everyone here was part of history. Hopefully in 25 years, everyone would come back and be able to share stories from July 12, 2022. At this time, we have time capsule items ready for display. We're going to ask to make a single file line at the front door. We're going to allow 20 individuals in at a time. Take your time. All items will be displayed the entire day, so there's no rush. We also have refreshments to the right of me, the left of you, if you'd like to partake in that. And also in the City Hall lobby, we have pictures of history of Hawthorne. With that being said, let's give everyone a big hand for joining us today. Great employees of Hawthorne, great residents of Hawthorne, thank you for coming out. We'll see you in 2047. Thank you. Have a good day.
That's the actual receipt for the time capsule. Happy 100th birthday, Hawthorne. Tom, Connie, Tommy, and Neil Quintana.
Oh, how nice.
Tom Quintana, Hawthorne native and Vietnam veteran, designer of the city seal.
Must be, looks like sand and gravel. It's a,
Oh, yeah.
must be the sand pit. Yeah. It's just conveyor belt. Bring
Boys, my goodness. Their dad really pushed them.